Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So, in this video, we're going to have a look at Axel Rudakabana when he was in the taxi just before he committed that terrible crime on these three little girls, Alice, Elsie Dot, and BB. Now, I have not, I've wanted to show the video footage of him in the taxi before the attack, because I know uh, we've all been sort of following this case. Now, it's been quite a while. I just haven't, it was such a harrowing case, this. It's been very, I've tried to leave it alone for quite a long time. But anyway, I've got some positive news. First of all, I just wanted to show you this video footage of Axel, because I know those of you that have been following this case, you'll want to see it if you've not seen it already. Now, I was thinking about what a harrowing case it is, but also now Merseyside police have released a short video with a positive message about the community coming together. So that's what we're going to look at after. We're going to look at the footage of this horrible person just before he perpetrated the terrible act. And I've got a couple of questions about it. Then we're going to look at this positive message from Merseyside police. It's so difficult to take positives out of this case. This is definitely the worst case, that I've ever reported on. And, that's just me. I'm not, how these parents are coping, I just don't know. It's heartbreaking. It's, there are no words to describe the depravity of this case. It's got to be certainly the worst case I've ever heard about in the UK. But there you go. We have to give these girls, we can't forget them. Their families, obviously, for us, it's a case. We'll get up tomorrow morning and our lives won't have changed, except that these girls maybe will be on our minds a bit more. We'll say prayers for them. We'll light candles for them. But their families are living this day in, day out, having to cope every day. And although Axel has gone to prison, of course, for a long, long time, over 50 years, he'll probably never come out of prison. He definitely won't ever come out of prison. Even though, sort of justice has been served in that way, these girls can never come back. They won't finish off their lives. They won't get married. They won't have children. They won't, nobody knows what their career would have been like, what contribution they might have made to society. It's horrible, horrible, horrible that that's been taken away from them. No sentence can replace that. So this will be the very last time, unless it's to report that, something's happened to Axel in prison or something like that. I don't want to show Axel's face again, but I know I haven't shown this video before to my subscribers, to my viewers. So we're going to look at that. And the one thing I want to say before we start, the questions I've got are, why are we being drip fed again? The CCTV, they've got more CCTV of him. Apparently, the driver, the taxi driver, driving alongside him, asking him, why is it, are you going to pay? And him, somebody else challenging him, and he said, what are you going to do about it? Like, we haven't been shown that for whatever reason. I don't know why they do this, but anyway, they do. Also, I think it's quite clear on the video that Axel is texting somebody, or he's on his phone. Who is he texting? Have we ever been told that? What is he doing? Is he sending a message out on social media, like to say what he's going to do? What are those texts? I certainly haven't heard what they are. Does anybody know? Who was he texting? Okay, we're going to look at that first, but then we're going to look at this positive message from Merseyside Police, and I do think it's the only, trying to find, in any case, if you try and find some positivity, something to hang on to at the end of it, because otherwise it is so distressing. As I say, even for me, never mind for the family, trying to find something, I don't know, to cling on to, like to stop you from drowning. This case it is horrendous. There's just no other way of describing it, is there? So let's have a look, first of all, at, well, that fateful day when Axel, for whatever reason, only really known to him properly, decides to commit this awful, awful crime. So there, he was asking the taxi driver where the place was. And the taxi driver said, I feel sorry for that taxi driver. He's going to feel bad, isn't he? But it should, obviously he can't feel bad and he shouldn't feel bad. But, in a human way, if only you would have known, he'll be thinking, if only you would have known what was going to happen. What would it? Well, he would have rung the police, I suppose. He didn't know. So, but it's heartrending to see it and heart-stopping, I think. This boy, and he is a boy. He was 17 and, he's only just turned 18. I think he's younger than his age. Just seeing him there in that horrible hoodie, green. To me, I always think of green as a bad colour, an unlucky colour. That's like superstition from when I was young, and my dad, who wasn't really into superstitions, he always said that green was unlucky. Funny that, isn't it? From the song, there was a song, Green Sleeves, isn't it? It was written by Henry VIII. I could be talking a load of rubbish there, I don't know. But anyway, green is supposed to be unlucky, but some people, it's quite popular colour at the moment, I noticed. But anyway, I don't wear green very rare. I think I've got one top that's green with flowers. But anyway, just seeing him in that green hoodie, it just gives you the creeps, doesn't it? Yeah, so the taxi driver says to him, yeah, it's down there. So he points over and he goes, down there? He goes, yeah. So he's asking him where this dance studio is. But then he seems to be on his phone to me. Look, yeah, he's got his phone out. He's definitely on his phone. So somewhere concealed on his person, he's got that horrible knife. So who's he texting? What's he doing on his phone at this moment? We've never been told that, as far as I know. So we now know he had this previous assault conviction from attacking a fellow pupil at his school. He was referred 3 times to the anti-extremism programme. Each time his case was assessed by counter-terror police, but he was not deemed a terrorist risk. There was more red flags with this boy than in the Kremlin. It was that there's got this inquiry that's coming up. It's got to be a massive inquiry. Something somewhere went so badly wrong. I know, his own mental health, or God, what, or maybe he's just bad. Possessed by the devil, personally, looks like to me. But whatever, something has got to come from this, something positive. It's got to, because that's what those 3 girls deserve. And that, of course, is, apart from the other children who survived, or the teachers who survived, the impact on them, although, they managed to survive, they deserve it too.
It's down there, the spray shop. With cash or card, mate. Number 34A, yeah.
So he says, with cash or card, mate. He's on his phone again. He's sending a message to someone, or he's typing something into his phone. Who is it? What is it? So the driver's saying to him, cash your card, mate, and he's just ignoring him. So I say apparently there is further CCTV of the driver driving next to him and saying, are you going to pay me? Are you going to pay me?
Are we cash your card, mate?
Just ignores him.
Are
Gets
we
out
cash
the
your
car.
card, mate?
And there he goes to now. He can't get in, first of all. He can't get in, first of all. Just having all that evil in your heart, you know, I mean, that is literally the devil, possession by the devil to me. You know, it's just, how could you have all that evil in your heart where you knew you were going there, you've got a massive knife on your person, you're going to attack a load of little girls. He knew that he was going to do that. I just can't get the picture out of my head of BB. You know, I could cry now after, you know, reading about like what he did. It's just, you know, I just can't unsee that image in my head. And that, as I say, how the parents of those children feel this sort of devil, you know, standing over them after done such horrendous damage to them. Unbelievable, but it's true. And these were weapons found at his address, these arrows, the reason. And this is an identical knife, not the knife, but an identical knife to the knife used in the attack. So it's massive, isn't it? Oh, you know, that was designed to kill, you know, it wasn't just designed for, I don't know, an attack attention. You know, the thing is, Axel, he had attacked a pupil, hadn't he, and broken their wrist. You know, someone who allegedly was bullying him, and maybe they were. The thing that I don't get the most about this crime is he didn't even know these girls. Now, I'm not saying that it's right to break a bully's wrist either. Of course it isn't. But maybe they were bullying him, so you can see why I'd be angry at least. But to just go out cold-bloodedly, there he was sat in the taxi texting. Who was he texting? I'm going to keep asking that question. Then just attack all these little girls that he just didn't even know, had not done anything to him, just because they were little and they were easy prey for him. You know, you come to that conclusion in the end, don't you, that he picked them because he knew they couldn't fight back. Horrible, just horrible. I'm going to go back to the beginning of that. I just want to show again. Who is he texting? This is really bugging me here. What's he looking at on his phone? And then just before he gets out the taxi, he's clearly texting, or clearly, you know, entering some sort of letters into his phone. You know, he's on his phone. He's not just looking at it. He's actually, you know, putting something into his phone. What is it? Is it his last message? And why haven't we been told what that was? Now, maybe it came up in the court case. Anyway, this boy, he's in prison now. He won't be having a great time, will he? Let's hope not, anyway. So, yeah.
Sir, down there, the spray shop. We cash your card, mate. Number 34A, yeah.
Yeah, he's on his phone. What is he doing? What is he doing on his phone? Probably the driver thought he was taking his money out or something.
Are we cash your card, mate? Are we cash your card, mate?
God, hateful boy. And as I say, I'm sparing a thought definitely for his family because, dear me, you giving birth to that monster, you'd feel pretty bad, wouldn't you? You'd feel pretty bad. You brought that monster into the world. So, as I say, he's in prison, not planning on ever showing his face again, to be honest. Okay, so we're going to go now to this positive message. So I want to finish on a positive message from the police, and as much as people criticise the police, I think that day for them must have been just horrific. They're the ones that sort of turn up there. They saw that scene. I hope they're all getting counselling as well. I just can't imagine how that was. It's not, we might criticise the police in some ways, but they've got a pretty horrible job. And then within the same 24 hours of going, they were back out on the streets because of riots and things. It was a horrible, horrible time. Not only because of these stabbings, but what happened after. It was horrible for the community. It was horrible for the parents. All that with the rioting afterwards was just awful as well. People jumping on the deaths of 3 little girls to go out on a drunken rampage. Load of yobs costing the Southport police, Merseyside police, using up their resources. If you needed the police on that night, you would have been lucky to get them. They might be hard enough to get the best of times. They were all out at the Southport riots trying to protect property and trying to protect the residents of that community that had already been blasted by what had happened. So what an awful, awful sort of couple of weeks it was. Started with him, and then other people got involved and didn't help matters, did they? In the name of those 3 girls, went out and committed more violence. Disgusting. So this is what they say on this Twitter post. We'd like to share a message with you. Following the tragic events that deeply affected us all over the summer and the sentencing last week, we feel now is the right time to say thank you to the amazing people of Southport, Merseyside and beyond. We will continue to be there for you as we move forward as a community. We're working hard to keep the area we so proudly serve a safe place to be. And don't forget, a lot of them will live in that area, of course. Despite us all being rocked by the events that took place last summer, we remain strong, united, and we stand together. Please take a moment to watch this video and hear about how the police and community have supported each other in this toughest of times. As always, our thoughts remain with the families of Alice, BB and Elsie, as well as everyone else, as everyone involved in and affected by the tragic events of the 29th of July. So I'm going to show you this video. So I want to say, being a police person, it's not an easy job. Nobody likes you. A lot of people don't like the police just because they are the police. But at the end of the day, the police are just normal people. And you get a lot of bad ones. You'll get some bad people in the police. But most people that are in the police are not bad. And they're doing a job. It's difficult. And, if you had a problem, first thing you can do is ring the police, aren't you? Whether you like them or not, you're going to ring the police. So, if you get attacked or whatever, who are you going to ring? You're going to ring the police and hope that they'll come and help you. Maybe they will and maybe they won't. People complain about the police, but, they do a lot of good things as well. So anyway, let's have a look at this video. And I found it quite, like a beacon of light, if you like, in this horrible, horrible case. This is, as I say, the worst case I've ever reported on. It made me actually ill. Couldn't sleep at night. I've never known a case affect me so much, but obviously, 3 little girls like that, it's bound to, and of course the other victims.
Police in Merseyside is very much part of our community. We were all rocked by the events of last summer, but what we've seen is a real coming together, a real galvanising of our communities, particularly here in Southport, and the way they've supported the police in the recovery from those tragic events has been really humbling for me, and something I'm really proud to be a part of. We've policed Southport for many, many years, and this has been a really close-knit community. As I say, since last summer, it just feels even more galvanised than ever before.
My name's Andrew Brown. I run the Stand Up for Southport website and social media pages. We have lots to be proud of in Southport, and also as a way of supporting the community, because I think the community has been amazing in coming together and supporting the families, but they need ongoing support. And I think when the sentencing has happened and when the rest of the world moves on, these families are still here, they're still grieving, and they still need help and support. There are fundraising pages for them. There are ways of supporting them, and we need to make sure that they're first and foremost in everybody's thoughts. I think the community has been devastated. I think they've been traumatised.
Of course, the families will, as time goes on, they'll need more help, not less, because, they've probably been mainly focused on, well, first of all, it would just be the shock of the incident. Then you've got the funerals. Then you've got the court case coming up. Now he's been sentenced. What they're going to focus on now? Change, I suppose. Maybe going for change, but every day it will just be a nightmare for them, won't it? And then as time goes on, they'll be thinking of what the girls would have been doing as the girls' friends, go up to high school, leave school, go to college, go to university, as they get married, have children. And these families with these particular girls, with their 3 girls, they're frozen in time, and that will never be happening to them. It's just horrendous.
But also, I think they've been incredibly compassionate and kind. I think they've been so supportive of the families.
Yeah, I agree. We as local policing saw that firsthand, especially following the disorder, saw how the town came together and really supported each other.
And the schools have been incredible. The way that the school head teachers and school staff have supported all the children, because children have got lots of questions about what happened. And I think there are so many people who've done just great things, but lots of unsung heroes in Southport. There's lots of people who've just come forward and said, we're going to raise funds, we're going to organise, we're going to do something. There's some great charities supporting the families, and I think Southport has shown itself to be a really kind community.
Yeah.
We want the public to know that the community is absolutely at the heart of everything that we do in Merseyside. The public will see an increased policing presence, but we want them to feel reassured that we're there. Come and say hello to us. Come and tell us what's going on. We're not here for any other reason other than to make sure our communities and the residents and public in our communities feel safe as they go about their business.
So this is just a snippet of all the messages we got from the local community, from our schools, and it's gorgeous. The support we got from local people, say from the children, it just basically fills our hearts with the fact that they've actually come out and to say thank you and that have our backs, and it really made a difference, especially the following days after everything. I personally was on Sussex Road, and I was actually at the mobile police station. 2 young boys came up to me with pictures they'd drawn with a big thank you. And it's just those little bits that just sort of says, they're here, we support you. And it's like I say, it's lovely to be part of that community.
So my message to the public would be just a heartfelt thank you. Our officers have felt overwhelming support since those tragic events of last summer. And it really does mean something to our colleagues, and I just want to thank everybody that took the time to write a card or a letter to us, and just to pass that reassuring message that we are here for you, and we're going to be.
Oh. So, yeah, just wanted to finish with something inspirational. There's not much inspirational in that case, is there? But yeah, there you go. So, love going out, prayers going out, virtual hugs going out to, especially to the family. But do you know what? Everyone who was affected by that, the first responders, what the scenes that they had to face, and they have to go home then and be with their own families. Must be horrible, but thank God somebody does that job. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon in the next video, and until then, may your God go with you. Bye.